Hello, my name is Ann Fells, and this is my World Literature 2 final exam for spring 2024. Two main concepts that I learned this semester include identifying character motivation and composing concise analyses. For identifying character motivation, I've learned this semester to accurately identify and consequently articulate character motivation in a variety of texts in a more efficient manner. For instance, I'm more equipped to dissect the details of a text to discover the potential motivations or inducements for a character's actions, speech, or overall purpose in the text. And thus, I feel more confident in applying this gathered information to develop a more plausible understanding of the text plot elements overall. Moving on to concise analyses. It's another vital concept I have learned because I have always struggled with writing concise analyses. I would often ramble on for pages and pages of unnecessary paragraphs when my writing prompt only required perhaps one or two. Therefore, this semester I've been able to gather my details in a more concise, more straightforward and direct manner than before, which I did not expect, and it's been a very helpful concept to learn. Something I've struggled with this semester is maintaining a consistent reading schedule. The readings for this semester have been much longer than what I've been used to, and so my schedule had to arrange and adjust in a way that I wasn't expecting. However, I was able to improve my organizational skills by arranging and readjusting how I did my other assignments or extracurricular activities or other home responsibilities around my reading schedule so I could fit it in into places that gave me enough time to really process and absorb the text before our team's meetings. For example, I would read a portion of the text on Sunday evening, and then on Monday morning, I would read uh, I would finish reading, and then Tuesday, I would have a complete, or at least a better understanding of the text than if I had just read it in a rushed 15 minutes or so. And therefore, I was able to have better notes and contribute to discussion in a more efficient, more beneficial manner. Study time. Overall, I spent 1 to 2.5 hours reading the weekly assigned texts prior to the team's meetings during a typical week, as I mentioned in the earlier slide, with the readjusting my schedule. And thus, before reading or writing rather, my reading assignments for each week, I would spend about 30 minutes reviewing the text and my notes from the team's meeting to give myself a more in-depth look at the text so that I would be able to include each detail that I needed for for a concise analysis. For the final paper, however, I spent 2 hours reading to gain additional details for the different points I was attempting to make, as well as the initial reading before that week's weekly team meeting and reading as well. A learning surprise for me this semester was have including new literary interests. Over the course of the semester, we have encompassed an extraordinary range of genres and writing styles. And thus, I've discovered that I enjoy many different authors that I would never have reached out to before, such as Frederick Douglass or uh, my mind leaves me. Uh, this The Little Prince story and many others. I've never experienced them before, and it was a joy to read and understand different viewpoints of these authors. On that note, developed a newfound respect for these pieces and these journeys of depth and discovery and challenge and sorrow have really tugged at my heartstrings and made me want to look into them more and to read more. Furthermore, I've rediscovered my love for poetry. It's not something that I keep consistent over years or months. I read it in a few spurts and I love it, and then I let it go with responsibilities and other things that come up. However, this semester has really reignited that passion in me, and I've learned about other poets out there that have really opened my eyes to different things and how romanticism and nature and all sorts of spiritual things intersect to make beautiful poetry. And final comments. I deeply enjoyed the enriching texts over the course of the semester, as I mentioned before. It opened my eyes to several opportunities to further growth in myself, in my journey to becoming a well-rounded reader. And I also appreciated the weekly class discussions and the teams meetings and the encouraging atmosphere that inspired really truly optimal learning throughout the semester. Moreover, I really valued the constructive and detailed feedback provided on every weekly assignment and the final paper, as they really have assisted me in developing my attention to detail, a more concise writing, and a more confident approach to writing overall. To close, I feel this course has broadened my literary horizons massively and has inspired me to further my literary endeavors in becoming an educated, well-rounded reader and writer. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.